Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel React Developer, and today I'm gonna build the website with the CRUD operations. So if you don't know CRUD operations, I opened this website to read about CRUD operations. So what is CRUD operation? CRUD operation basically stands for create, read, update and delete. So what happens in the create is we perform some insert statement to create a new user record, anything like that, and read is just to view the user or view the user details basically, and the update thing is to edit the particular user profile, and the delete is to particularly erase that thing. This is all we're gonna do today. So let's jump into the VS Code, and we're gonna use this Tailwind CSS with the React app. So these are the all steps on their official website that you must follow and you can follow. So basically first one is to create React app, then cd in the my directory, then npm install the Tailwind post CSS auto prefixer. And basically what this does is this makes two new files, that is tailwind config.js and post css config.js. And post CSS just converts our Tailwind class name into the normal CSS, whereas Tailwind config is for it takes all the custom colors and custom fonts, whatever we want to define, we have to define the Tailwind config. And it also does a thing which is very good, just in time compiler. With that we only uses the CSS that is on the screen, and the rest of the unused CSS is been cleared by this thing. This is all it does. So, and we need to copy this thing and just paste it in our tailwind config.js, and we need to include this. So you must follow these all steps, okay? So I don't want to waste time on this. And we also have to create a JSON server. We are not going to build the whole backend with the Node.js or Express. We are just using the JSON server. So you need to install this package too, npm i JSON server. So let's jump into the VS Code directly. And this is the Hello World app that I have built right now, and it's running on port 3000. So what happens in the package.js, since I'll show you, I have installed the JSON server and I have React Auto DOM installed. And I've also installed the Axios. And what is Axios? Then Axios is our messenger. It takes our data from our front end part, or you can say from our form, and it takes data to the backend or wherever we want to store. It also brings the data. This is all it does. Now I have included a very one thing that you must include too. That is JSON server. This is the script to run the JSON server on a different port, because on port 3000 we are running our app. So we need to run a JSON server, the particular that backend thing, on the other port. So we have defined the port here. You can see, you can copy it directly from here, and I'll show how we're gonna use it. npm run JSON server. This is the name of the script, I guess. JSON server, yes. So we're gonna run it on a port 3000. Okay, so see, this is running on the port 3000, and what it is saying is that JSON server watch db.json. What is db.json is? db.json is this file I have created with bunch of JSON data with the fake data. It's all the fake data. It's not the data I have created. I've just taken it from type.code. You can find it json.typecode./users. I guess this is the website I just took from there. This is a bunch of fake data on db.json file just beside the package.json file. Okay, so once the thing runs, yeah, it is running. So we're gonna go to the localhost 3000/users. So you can see we are running the fake data here. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna fetch this data and show our data on the home page. We're gonna edit data. We're gonna create users and add to this data. So basically this all we are going to do. So you must have got the understanding what we are going to do. So one last thing, if you're new to my channel, then please subscribe it, because I want to go to 1K. So help me grow. So I'm going to take this Tailwind CSS, what is called table, because I liked it very much. It's easy, just you can show code and copy this, and this will work with fine. Okay, so let's jump into it. I must show you the Tailwind config because I've added some my custom fonts and colors that I'll use. So you can see this is all. It's not necessary that you also make this like exactly copy of this. So you can just copy with the official website thing. You can just go with this thing and this will work fine, because it is just personal my experience that I like this font set. So I have imported it, and we also need to import the Google fonts in our index.css file like this. So you must have got what you have to do. This is all the files that I have changed, so I am showing it once more. So let's start with the index.js file. I have wrapped the whole app with the browser router, and now I'm gonna do the next thing, that is in the app.js file. It's hello world running fine. So now I should do one thing, that I'll define some components in the pages section. I have named pages, you can name it as a component too, and here I'll name a file home.js, and this will this will contain all that data and all. Okay, and we need a navbar too. So first of all, widthful and heightful, flex call, and what else we need? Here I'll write the h1 tag that it's a home page. Padding on the x-axis be like 10 and padding on the y-axis be 8. So we'll need a navbar too. So navbar.js, and in this navbar just gonna do very simple thing, very simple, that it will not take much time of us. Class name widthful, height 16, bg blue 600. Okay, h1 CRUD. Oops. I'll give it a text 3XL and font semi-bold and font Montserrat or Gotham Montserrat only. And yeah, we need to define the color too. So text white. These are all not showing because we have not imported in the app.js file. So let's do that first. Navbar. Okay, here it is. We'll do some more changes here. That's like, first of all, we'll say it as a flex box, flex item center. Okay, we'll need to give some padding on the x-axis to be 10. Y is fine, I guess, but still I'll give it a little bit. Padding the y-axis be 2. Okay, so we need to add a button to add users in this. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'll do a justify between in this so that it will push the whole two thing on the other side of the navbar. Maybe you're getting my point. What it will do, yeah, it will push the other element on the two different sides. Justify between does that. We'll need to style it a little bit. So in the class name thing, I'll first of all give it a width of 48. I'll give the VG to be white, and what it to be text should be blue. 300 is good, I guess. And what else we need? It's font semi bold and text Excel is good, but it looks so weird, very weird. I'll change it, no issues with that. Height will be 12 and rounded will be large. So this is all. Yeah, now it looks good. I think so. So this is ready. Okay. Now what we're gonna do is here we'll first define the routes and the path so that we can navigate to the home page, and navbar is available for all the pages, so it's outside the routes part. And then on the route we define the path, as you know in the React Axios version 6. This is how we do. We'll have to give a path. Path will be simple as slash whatever. And the element we'll have to define the component. So component will be home. Here we go. Here is the home page. So what we have to do in the home page is to bring that big table that we saw on that website. So for that we will do two things. First of all, we'll name it as a home page. We can just copy this thing. Oops, it needs to be black. There we go. So we know this is home page now. Also we need to define some pages here, I guess, or not. Maybe we don't need, because we don't want to show pages. And in this we'll have to define that table. So I just copied it from that side. Maybe you don't need this. Okay. So, and this. One more thing is there, I guess. Yeah, this one. So this is how the table looks like. We can even do this as like just put the home page here. Nope. Flex call. This table I need to give some margin around 8. Yeah. What we need the data on the top is, this is the index code. We need here name or maybe user. No, name is good. What data we have here? Yeah, name, Then we'll have the email and phone, the 4 data we will have. So just I'll change it a little bit and it will look good. Name, email and phone. So one more thing we'll need as a actions, where we'll define 2 button, edit and delete button. Okay, action, there we go. This T body will only need this TR, rest of them needs to be deleted. Here we go. This action we need 2 button. I think I have to give one more button to view too. Yeah. Shit. So one more button with the view option. Need to define the buttons too. So for this I'm just giving a px of 6, py of 2, text white, and bg for view black. Good, no issues. I think I should do it like this so that I can see the designs too. Yeah, now it's much better. So this is how all the buttons will be, maybe. So I think just copy the class names from this one. Yeah, it's there. Just in this one we'll have red with 600, I guess. Yeah, looks good. And this I will have blue with the 600. Looks good to me. So this is all the design. This is how it will look, but we don't have any data now. I think we need to increase the sizes of this too. This looks very small. Yeah, at least still large. Now it's something better than that. Yes. So this is all for the design. If you want, we can give a border to the whole table too. Do you want it? So border and border black. You can see this is how we can give a border. It looks nice to me. So now the real thing comes to fetch the data from our localhost 3000. So let's start that. Just give me a second, I need to drink some water. So to fetch the data, first of all we need a variable to store the data. So how are we gonna do that? We're gonna use the useState hook here. So user and set user users useState, and by default it's an empty array, because what we will get from the backend is a type of JSON, and we'll store it in array so that we can map the whole data and show it in the table thing. Got it? Maybe many of you know this, but still I have to tell everyone because it's for the beginners too. And now we're gonna use effect here, because whenever we come to the home page, we need the data to be already fetched from the backend, because we don't want any buttons when clicked then we have to fetch the data. It's not like that. We have to fetch the data automatically. So we're gonna use effect for that. And we know that use effect is used to at least run a functions when the page loads. And after that we can manually handle how many times it must run the function or not. So basically that's all for the use effect. So I'm gonna define use effect. We can use this is called snippet. Now we're gonna delete this extra thing from here, and we're gonna delete this too. Now what I'm gonna do here is Axios .get, and Axios.get will just bring all the data from the backend. So what our backend is, we have to provide the URL for that, and this is our URL. So I'm gonna put it here, but I forgot to put it in the so this is all how we define the use effects thing. Means how we define Axios.get and the double inverted commas the URL. So this is all the URL, and now what we're gonna do here is on the next line, if they get a success, we're gonna do like this. Whatever the response is, error function set users res.data. So this is all, and also we need to do one thing. First of all, we need to see how the data is coming or not coming. So we're gonna do a console log dot with the user. Okay. So let me check if we are getting the data or not getting the data, whatever it's happening. Oh shit, this was not supposed to happen. Yeah, we are getting data with the array. Something is there. Res is not defined. here we can say is response. Is it still giving that error? Yeah, this is error for this one. So what you're gonna do is, I'm just gonna write class equal to and replace class name, so it will replace it. Nope, the response thing is not getting the data. I used to do REST only. Still not getting the data. But before that we were getting the data. One thing, let me try one thing more. Yeah, sometimes this happens. What's happening there is, I must tell you that too. Again, that's not coming. What the hell, man? Really something. Let me do one thing more and do that tile here. Yeah, data is coming, just we need to add something very good thing is await. So what we can do is use effect async function, or let it leave it like this. So now we're gonna use this data, since we are getting the data in use effect. Now we have some data, so we're gonna map this data. Okay, this is the best way to debug. In the app, you can just console log to see if the data is coming, not coming. This will give you the exact thing. So in this tr, since we want to repeat this tr, we're gonna do this like this one. So users dot map, okay, and we want to map with user and index. I'm gonna write some arrow function here, and in this have this whole tr in this one. And we're gonna give user dot, or maybe just index. Again, we need to see what's happening. Something is really not good here. Let me check. I need to check a little detail. So it should have come like this. Okay, there's a little change in the latest thing. After the arrow components, we need to use the small brackets. So here we get the details. So just I was thinking everything was going right, and what the hell was happening here? We need to increase the width. I just gave 80%, I guess. Yeah, we need to give it around 90%. Maybe more than that. Now looks good. So here we have got the data, and if you want to see what's happening there, I must let you know. So let me just format it once. So what basically I'm doing is I'm mapping that users array and showing the data. So we are mapping the data user.map. Here you can use anything. You can even use the user, it will work fine. So I'm just mapping this tr and want to repeat this tr whenever the new data comes, and for that we are using this key. So what it will do is key will just give a unique value, so every time the key changes, new tr will begins. Okay, so this is how we map the data and we get the data from backend. So this is all for now. So now we want to use view, edit, delete, everything. So what we can do here is, see, now we need to give some functionality, and we need to first of all define that pages. So for that, I'm gonna define one folder, user folder, and then user folder I'm gonna say as user.js to view the file, and one file with edit.js to edit it, and one file to create. So add user.js. So RFCE. So in this user, how we will show the user is very good point. You must see this very clearly. Okay, we need to go to the user but with some ID. So we need some ID here, because without the ID we cannot find which users on which users it is. So we need to find it. So what we will do here is now if we go to the home component and this edit button, we'll have to do a very good thing. I think if we use link here, maybe it will work fine. Just I need to see it's working fine or not. It's giving some error. Okay, I need some data. 2 slash users slash data.id. So on this click I am sending the data, but it's not rendering something because we have not defined the page. So on this app.js, now it's home, so it's showing home, but we'll have to define that users page. Now you will see if we click, it is on the users page with the ID 1 here on the top. On the URL you can see with the ID 1. So this is the path we defined. Firstly, see this is the path that we have defined, and on the home.js what we are saying, when we are mapping, we are getting the ID 2. You can see we have the ID in this thing. Okay, so we are just saying that send the user to that particular ID with this particular ID, and we're gonna catch this ID here. And how we and to get the ID, we'll do a very simple thing. Const ID is equal to use params. Okay, so what this will do is this will get the ID from this one. This will get that particularly ID. This is called the params or parameters. Okay, so this is how it will go. Now we again need that particular thing, that use state and this thing. So I'll copy just from here and go to the user.js and just paste it down here. Just there will be little change with that. Now we have the user, so just we will use it like a user here, not the users. So what we need is we need to go to that particular ID with that users. So what we need to do here is we need to go to that particular ID in the user section in this ID. Okay, so what we will do, slash, in the curly braces we will just keep the ID from whichever ID he has came. Okay, two things we need to import: use effect and use state. So yes, this is Axios is not defined. Okay, so if you want to see the data, we can do here is console.log user. We are getting an object with the data here, email, company, everything is here in this. So we can just So since we are getting an object here, we can just remove it like this. Maybe just let me see once what's happening now. In the console, erase this. Okay, yeah, I told you. Since we are getting the object now, we don't need that array. We just need that JSON, and JSON is already in the object form, so we don't need that array here. So now we will just map the data, but since it's object, we don't need to map, just we need to do it very simple. I'll show you how we do it when it's an object here. We'll just say that if the user is there and I'm just trying that. After that I'll style it h1 and it is user dot name. I'm just trying it to see if it's working or not. This is working. Okay, so now we will design it accordingly. So what we'll do is we'll define a div first. Oops. And in this one, first of all, we'll define width is equal to full, height is equal to full, justify center flex call, oops. Here we go. Justify center isn't working. Why is it so? Okay. So now what we gonna do is, since we are getting the data, class name width will be around I'll give it in a pixel, 500 pixel, and height to be 500 pixel. And this will be a BG of black. This looks absolutely blunt. Shit. So white /100. This is just a grace color. Nope, isn't working. I have one more color. Let me try it. Yeah. This is somewhat better, but it isn't looking good, that I know very well. So in this, I'm having just 3 sections. So what we can do is just we can copy with the div thing, but we need a column div. So let it be. I'll just manage div flex. So class name width to be 5 by 12, and this will keep all the headings, name and all things. So flex call and space y2v4. Okay, so this one will first of all h2 with the name class name text white. This isn't looking good, man. What I'll do is just I'll give some border here. Border black. That's all I'll do. Yeah. And a margin top of 16. Looks good to me. Text black font semi-bold font enter. What happened to it, man? Just let me copy this and control Z. 116. Okay. PX6 and PY4. Yep. This is all I want. Name, email, phone number. That's all we have. So in this name section, we can just do user dot name. Got it? Here will be user dot email and here will be user dot phone. Okay, we need space. And what about this space? This will be 7 by 12. Yeah, got it. This looks good to me. Maybe you must say. So now we can show the data. Here you go. We are getting the data. Once we go to this page, we click on our data and their data is here. Okay. Here we can just remove the last border. And instead of doing this much, we could have just to justify center and items center. I think border was good. Now it's looking very bad. So good. It's looking good to me. Maybe you are not satisfied. I can't do anything to that. Now we need to edit this, but we haven't done this add user. First of all, we need to do this add user. Maybe I have not defined it. I'll define it. Just wait a second. Since it was a button, it was automatically sending the text to the center, but okay. Oh my god. How this could happen? Now 9:16. Better I change this name only, because we need to put the names in the camel cases. This is what React asks us to do. Always automatically imports to. So here we are in the add user page, and now we'll just do very fast. We'll not waste any time in that. So what we will do, we will create a form. Okay. So just like this. Width will be screen, height will be full, justify center, flex item center. And now we will do the form thing. Form I'll define a bunch of input here. With the placeholder, enter your name, class name, and we need to define the type too. So type will be text, class name will be okay. Here we need to see the width maybe at 80% and height to be full. Anything else we want? Up. So width will be 80%, and we need to define here is flex call bg wait 10. Ish, so sorry, man. Text Excel font is right and font to be normal. Here we go. Focus outline none and a border chink 400. And also we need to define a py of 6 f4. Yeah, and padding left of 6.2. I need to add a button to here. Now for that we'll need to have flex call here, and here with the h1 tag add user, and this never, where it is never. Item start maybe would help me. So enter your name. Same thing will go with the enter your phone and enter your email. So we'll need to change the type to your email, and here with the phone we'll need to give some margin here so that it looks good. Margin 4. And now we need a button here to submit it. Basically everything will be the same here. Little changes will need here, but I'll do that. How is it looking? First of all, for the BG I'll use to 600, and outline thing we don't want here. And border also, we don't want border thing. Okay. Text white. So here we are ready with the add user thing. Okay. So now we need 3 states to cache the data, and for that I'm gonna define the use state const name and now we need to take the changes. So how we do it in the React is on change, we click a function, and on that we set name e dot target dot value, and here we'll say that event. Is basically the event. So, and we need one more thing here, because that won't work. We'll need to add a value, and value will be the name. Same thing will continue in all the 3. So this is the control type of email input. Okay, this is basically, this is only the control inputs. Maybe you have heard during the everywhere that control inputs. So this is how we do the control input. So if you will check this, what's happening right here is that first of all we are getting the data, we are sending data in the state, and then we are rendering the data with the updated state. It's not directly rendering by our keyboard. So that's what's happening in the So this is ready. Now we'll have to send this data. So how we can send is, on click of this, I'll fire a function leave it, we can just directly do this submit. So now we don't have that submit function, but we'll define function submit, and in this we'll have to do one thing very first, that e dot target dot value, what the hell I'm doing that, e dot prevent default, so that it will prevent the default behavior of the browser on the click. Basically on clicks it refresh the page, so it will prevent it from the refreshing. So now we need to do is Axios dot post, and in this post we will just and what we're gonna post here is, okay, we have not done one thing, that's very bad. Const data is equals to, we need to define it in the JSON form, so that's what I'm doing here. Okay, name, email, and phone to be phone. So this is like what it is in the database, how the name is stored, and this is the name from here that we are getting the from input. What data is data stored in the name, so we'll send in the name thing. Okay, maybe you got my point. So this is how we send it. And if dot then Axios dot post after posting data. I think this is all we need to do. Yeah, I guess this is all we need to do. One thing, if we need to push to the home page, how we will do that? So we'll use const navigate. This is just for the what you said, redirecting to the home page. Okay, use navigate. I think a bunch of errors. Just give me a bunch of errors, my computer. Yeah, here it is. Image not defined. Everything looks good to me. Then how is saying that image not defined? Maybe I need to refresh it. Yeah, no errors. So we'll start, and here we'll give test at the rate. Since we have used email as a type, so we need to include at the rate, and we are able to. So here you can see the data is here. So now when we are adding the data, it's coming at the bottom. So we need this data at the top. So we need to use one function of a JavaScript. It's a basically JavaScript function. We just need to do when storing the data of the response, we need to reverse it. That's all. Data.reverse. Yeah. So here at the top we get the data. Now two things is left: edit and a delete. So we'll do the delete thing here only in the home page. In this function, I'll define the function. What's that? Function delete Axios dot delete URL. User slash, oh, it was this way, ID. So why I have done this, I'll say that because we want to call these functions after deleting. Okay, so that's why I've just did this. Dot then load users. So this is how it will go. Maybe you got my point. After deleting, I will use this function to render again the data. Got it? So in this button, I'll just call on click delete, and here lies the main part. We'll need to give this a ID. So how we gonna do that is a very good part. So now it is in a data dot ID part. Maybe this would work. Let's check it out. Load users is not defined. 99. Okay, now we need to test this. This is gone. Oh my god. That is gone. Yes, this is also gone. Now only edit thing is left, and I'm gonna do that in a 5 minutes. Okay. So this is the edit page. Basically, we're gonna do the same thing. Oh, I got a battery low percentage. Let me just plug in my charger here. It is. So in this add user, we gonna do the same thing. I'll just copy whole thing. Okay. I'll not hesitate in doing this. And in this edit.js, I'll just copy, put the name as edit. Edit is not working, I guess, maybe because I have not defined the path. Edit user. Okay. Adding users is not easy, man. One thing I left on the users part, if you want to go back to home, there was nothing like this, so I'm gonna define it here. H2 back to home. Maybe better with this one. Let's see. Submit and link. Okay, this isn't looking good at all, so I'm gonna really zap this whole thing here. This ain't good. This still not looks good. So well, I need to delete this border. This is looking very weird. Maybe this would work. Okay, I have already defined that. Just going to give a px of 4, bg of white by 10. This isn't working, man. Sync 400. Maybe this would work. Yeah, this is working. Px of 6 and py of 2 rounded XL. Okay. Now we were in the edit page. Edit is not defined. So in the home.js, okay, here we are. So there's two things in this edit user thing. So to get the data in that edit form from just loading the page, we want to show the which data we need to update. Since if its name is Sanskar, I need to show here Sanskar so that he can edit in that directly. To do that, I'm gonna have a very quick thing here. We're gonna go to home page. We're gonna take this thing here and here we are. Okay, we need a little things to be changed. I should have gone with that thing. Add user, no, there was a user file here. This one, I should have gone with this one. Edit user. So now what this will does is this will, so in this we don't want user, we want to do a very different thing. So let it be like that. Nope, we aren't going to do this. So in this we are going to set name. We are using that I said that we are using a what it's called control components. So this is the benefit of is that if we go to is it done? Axios. So not showing up, no issues. .data.name. What's the issue, man? Okay, here lies the main issue. In the home.js and even in this app.js, I have not done this thing that edit user that slash with the ID part. And that's why this is happening. And this in the edit user, okay, we need to put it in the curly braces. Data.id. Is this good? Maybe. It must have shown right now. Okay. Here we go. It's the same thing will continue with the email. Many of you still have the issues that how is this happening. I'll again let you know what's happening here is, so we are getting the data in this ID from this ID and we are updating this set name, basically stating the updating the state of this const name with the help of this set name function, and we are with the use of this value we are showing the data directly in the browser. So this is how now if we write something, it's input, so we can write, and we are also updating the name with the set state function here. Now we need to update, so how we gonna do that? So function update, again we'll need, maybe we don't need the ID because the ID is already present in this one. So now I'll just copy this thing. One more thing, e.prevent default. This is the there we go. Axios to update we use put. Okay, so update we use put Axios dot put, and since we again need the data, so const data, you can write any name here. Okay, we can copy it from directly from the add user thing. Why I'm writing this. Dot, and after that dot then navigate to slash home. So here we need to write TRR. Oh, this didn't work. Nope, this worked, just the page didn't update it by itself. But this should have happened, yeah. Again, this is not happening. This is not working, man. And this home.js, can this work? This will not work, you need some data there. No, this is working good. So this is all, and if you want some checkings, you can do. So this CRUD operations is ready, and you can see it's working fine. So you must have got a basic idea how to use the APIs. So if you like my video, please subscribe my channel and do share my videos to your friends who are learning React. This may help them very much. And please like the video, and if you have any questions, you can ask me in the comment section, or you can contact me on the Instagram with the Sanskar_Raj. You can contact me there, and I'll be very helpful to you. I'll reply you as soon as possible. So, and if you have any doubt, please let me know in the comment section. I will definitely give you the answer. So please subscribe my channel and stay tuned for the next video. It is going to be very good video on the Disney Plus Hotstar clone. I'll do it in next week and upload it. So stay tuned in the video.